The 2024 market outlook and the 2023 year in review. This is Brian Hymas. I am your real estate agent up here in Boise, and more than that, well, a lot of you guys are just wondering how the market is and what's in store for 2024. And there's a lot of question marks, and it's actually kind of fun because there's so many different opinions out there, and I've had my same opinion for quite a while now. And we're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into what that opinion is and why I'm actually pretty excited about this year, even though there's a lot of pessimism out there. So we're going to dive into that. So buckle your seatbelts. Let's go on the market update 2023 year in review, as well as looking at 2024. So guys, I would love to make this as back and forth as possible. That means comments from you guys. That means answers from me, and anything you guys have for chats. Let me know where you're coming from. A few of you are in already. Let me know your name, where you're coming from, and any questions that you might have or any clarifications. If you're thinking about it, it honestly makes this a whole lot more fun. Otherwise, this is 20 minutes of me just talking to a screen, and I don't really see who's on the other side. It's a lot more fun when I know where you're coming from, if this is the first time you're watching or if this is not your first time, and any questions you have about the market, and especially about markets all good and dandy, but if you have any questions that apply to you, send them. And obviously my email, brian@brianhymas.com, is where you can reach me after if you have a question you feel like it's not good for the group. But most questions are, believe it or not, so would love to see those questions come in. So guys, there's been a lot of chatter about the interest rates. When we were in mid-2023, things were slowing and people were saying the interest rates were going to go up in 2024. My personal belief before I did the research was that the rates were going to go down. And I said that simply because I'm a little bit of I want to know who's pulling the strings behind the curtain. But for me, the strings behind the curtain are people are going to want to see in the election year, they want to see the incumbent get the job again. So I think it's a huge part of it, being in an election year. That was an opinion I had. And then out to eat with one of my favorite lenders, and we were talking about that, and he said, well, it's actually proven, right? And it's on an election year, if you look at it, the interest rates actually dip on election years, 2020, 2016, 2012, etc. So that's something that we can actually look to as evidence. And I'm going to be peeking over here at a couple. Well, let's see. I'll just peek over here. So when we look at 2023, 2023 in review, then national interest rates has peaked at about 7.79 APR, and we're already well below that. We're hovering around 6 3/8, somewhere around there right now with a 30-year fixed. And we'll go over some of that data and more later, but the data indicates that we're going down right now, and which is great for the prospective shoppers out there. According to Forbes, they're saying, there's an article we pulled up about Forbes from if homes are going to be more affordable this year. You have to understand who's pulling these strings. It's a really big deal because if we have if they say how the home market's going to be, the rates are going to be going down, and in September with a surety we know they're going to bottom, then guess where everyone, right? They have to have a constant flow of the market balancing with everything that's going on. And so the rates right now are pretty good, but in my opinion, they're going to get better. Now, does that mean they will get better? No idea. We don't really. No one has that crystal ball, but we do know from history that history might repeat itself, and if it does, the rates still will go down. When we look at this year's rates compared to last year's on a 30-year fixed, we were under 6%. We were under 8%. We were under 8% as well, and we were at 5 7/8, which is 5.875. That was where we were at. Now we're at 6 1/8, and so we're a half point ahead. We're about not even a half point, less than a half point more. So we're 6.125 at a 30-year fixed right now. Obviously, you can get those rates 15-year, or if you do an ARM, but that's where the rates are these days. So again, if you're joining us, tell us where you're coming from. Any questions you have on the market. A lot of you are coming from out of state. which is fantastic. And you want to know how the Boise market is. We are seeing, I will tell you from a personal point of view, I was actually coaching a basketball tournament. It was before Christmas. It was around the 15th or so. And I had a few buyers looking at the time. I think actively looking, we had 2 or 3 buyers at the time, like active. And within 24 hours, I had 3 phone calls and texts saying, let's go look at homes, let's go look at homes, let's go look at homes. And immediately the buyer pool just shot up. And I didn't know what happened to the rate. I was coaching a basketball tournament and for my son. And so I see the messages and I literally was like, what happened? What's been announced? Like there's something going on. And so that was the case, and found out the rates had dropped. And so that's the power of the rates. Now, you don't want to wait for the rates to be too low, right? What happens when the rates are low? The rates will attract more competition, and that can, put you in bidding wars. If a house is priced right, it can put it into a competitive situation, and that's not exactly everyone's ideal. Ideally, you want a house that's well priced and a thing that you can afford in a market that's low, and which usually means the rate's high. Because if you can afford it in a low market, you can afford it in a great market when you can refinance. So that would be my suggestion would be get while the getting's good, and the getting is good when the rates, the rates are at the lowest point with the houses at the lowest point. But if you wait till that's too low, come more competition, more demand, and the price is driven up. So you want to make sure that supply and demand is at a perfect sweet spot. So hard to time, but that's what you'll want to do. I want to pull up, Gene is on here as well. Gene, if you don't mind helping us out with the Ada County single family home sales comparing 2023 to 2022. Perfect. Okay, this is a lot of information, but I want to break it down for you. Every other row is percent change. So it's just data and then the percent change. If you look at row 2, 4, and 6, you'll see that's gone down. Column 2 and 4 is year-to-date 23. That would have been the whole year of 2023 compared to the whole year of 2022. You can see that there were 14% less home sales. You can see that the percent change in median price went down 7%, and the percent change of the average price went down 5.5%. So if we focus only on the median price in Ada County, went from 566 to 525. That's a big swing. 7% is no small number. The Q4 you can see went down a little. There wasn't a lot of demand or supply in that quarter. Plays a huge part. I wouldn't say there was a lot of shopping activity. In fact, the number of homes sold, it was far less than. Let's see. There's only 1,574. That was about 20% of instead of 25% what it should have been. So about 5% off the mark. Days on market, Q4 of 2022 is at 50. Year to date for the whole, it was 29 compared to year to date, which would the whole year of 2022 is 29 compared to 47. Huge difference for 2023. That was a huge thing. So listing a house in 2023 wasn't easy. Finding the right spot to price the house at and then putting it on the market was key. The homes I had, I bought more homes than I sold, and the homes we sold, one home out of the first part of the year took a few months to sell, and everything else moved pretty well. So that can tell you, just from personal experience, if you price the home well, the home was still going to go. This is still a good market. In fact, and when we try to get aggressive, we chased the market down and got under market value, in my opinion. Hard to say, right? It's hard to say that everything when you're looking in retrospect, but that's what we felt. Currently, I want to look at Ada County's number of homes on the market. If you can pull up that one. Again, tell us where you're coming from. First time, or if this is your multiple time. A lot of times we have Shar or Bob or Marianne on here. If you guys are here, we'd love to see you guys pop in. You guys are regulars. And if you have any comments or questions, please get those rolling. Love to get those questions. And if you disagree with me, even better because I don't know everything, but I sure will talk like I do. So whether you're joining us on Facebook, whether you're joining us on X or LinkedIn or wherever it might be, or YouTube, it all comes. I see every comment on my screen. We have it all linked out so we can see perfectly what you guys are bringing in. So Ada County, we have 516 solds in December, and active listings we have 296. You can leave that up there, Gene. Pendings went down a little bit, which is the number I like to watch for the and the active listings for the temperature of the market. Sold is a trailing number because that's the homes that got under contract in November, right? So pendings and then that equaled the solds, because not every home. 406 increased to 516 because you've got new construction, you got things from previous months that will add up. But we only had 342 go pending in December, and then we only had 296. We had a deficit of 60. That's pretty even. It's a good deficit. It's pretty good keeping the supply and demand even there. So overall, pretty healthy when we look at Ada County. I want to go to Eagle next. Eagle is the diamond in the rough. Eagle usually holds a little bit more value and more. Oh, let's keep going. Yeah, let's just keep going to Eagle. Perfect. When we look at Eagle, we're at 39 active listings in Eagle. 34 but pending compared to 7. That 7 can be off depending on. Don't worry about that pending. Actually, the solds went from 64 to 38. Huge deal. That is a huge drop off. I mean, that's a 40% drop, something like that, 35% drop. And then the median days of market pretty close to the same. In Eagle, the median home price went from 782 to 990. I tell people all the time, this number usually fluctuates between 850 and 950. The reason that will fluctuate is because the data's there's not a lot of data points, and so that's pretty normal for it to be under that. Went from 782 in November to 991 in December. Highest price sell in Eagle in the month of December was 3.7 million, and the highest price in all of Ada County was probably at 3.75. It sure was. That same house. That was the highest sell price in Ada County as well. Any questions, guys, on the market or anything you're seeing that I'm not seeing? Would love to get your take on the market. Definitely is a market that is unknown. People say the rates are going to keep going down. People say the rates are going to go up. People say the rates are going to halt. My opinion is that the rates are going to keep going down. Does that mean wait? I always tell people if you like the price that it's at now, that's a good price to buy at. Because if you try to time the market and you time it wrong, you are going to be out of luck. So make sure that you are comfortable with the price and that price meets your budget. And if it does, lock it in, get the house, fall in love, and refinance when you can. All right, let's go to after Eagle. Let's look at my hometown of Middleton. Middleton used to not hit the map as much. Now that I'm out here, I like to talk about it a little bit more. It's something I take a lot more interest in. Yes, there are less active listings and less solds out here than a lot of other cities, but I do love this place. There's a lot of acreage. There's a lot of good things you can find out here. For example, our house was probably about 33% less. And it's a nice property. It's on an acre, new home, and we got it for about 33% less. We could have got it in Eagle. So you can get a lot more out here, a lot more bang for your buck, a little bit slower pace. And we shop. We have to travel probably 5 more minutes for shopping, but really we don't, even though Costco and Fred Meyer and everything are pretty close to Eagle, a lot more traffic out there. So we're not hitting as much traffic. When I want to go to Costco or Target, hit the freeway, we're there in 12 minutes. So it's really not that bad. Those are the numbers for Middleton. And if we go to the pricing of Middleton on the next slide, that'd be awesome. You're going to see from the highest sell price in Middleton, we're in a little bit different market than Eagle. 1.225 was the highest sell price home. And that's pretty consistent. 1.113 the month before. I mean, I can tell you, I've been walking through $1.2 million homes out here in Middleton recently. That's going to get you an acre for 3,500 square feet type of home, a new home. And they're nice. They're beautiful. Beamwork in the living room, vaulted ceilings, craftsman beamwork on the outside of the home, RV garages. I think they're nice homes, and I think they're beautiful homes, and that's what Middleton can get you. And so 1.225 is something like that can get you. All right, next city of choice. Let's go to Meridian, and then we'll go Star. All right, Meridian. We go again. Let's pay attention to the solds. We actually had more sells in, the pendings. We had 115 go pending in December, 160 sell in November, 180 sell in December. Active listings were up 10. Pretty healthy in Meridian overall. That's a good picture. Pretty healthy in Meridian. Interesting how they can fluctuate from one city to the next, right? Very interesting. All right. Let's go to perfect, right here. Meridian, $1.7 million. That 1.7 can buy you. I would not be surprised if that's a few acres, with a new 3,500 square foot home on it. That's what 1.7 can get you in Meridian. And then so you're just closer to things. You're closer to hospitals, closer to Targets, Costco's, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. The whole 9 yards. Median sold price down considerably. Again, we're not looking at too many data points, so that's not a percentage change that you should really be concerned about. More, we'll take the aggregate of the whole 12 months. Lowest sold price, $268. Interesting to note that there was a $268 in Meridian. And for anybody who's looking for a $235, we got a $235 real banger out in Weiser. 2-bed, 1-bath, remodeled home in the middle and out there in Weiser. That one's just hit the market, just in case you're wondering. And let's round this off with Star. Let's go to Star's numbers. 57 sold in December compared to 55 in November. Active homes on the market. There's 66 homes on the market currently in Star. And we had 53 go pending in December. And actually what this stat is showing, I'm pretty sure, is how many homes are still pending that went pending in December. So that stat's a little wonky, but we can talk to the stuff we know. Median days on market, 40 compared to 26. That's a big deal. That's 15 days different. Huge difference. So market is still catching up. I wouldn't say call it hot, but I'd say it's warming up pretty nice. And with the phones ringing from out-of-staters who are trying to escape the way of life, the blue way of life, or they feel like a political refugee, whatever it is, that's what heats up this market is more news. Excuse me. So I'd say it's trending well. Again, my name is Brian Hymas, realtor up here in Boise, Idaho. I have been doing this for 7 or 8 years. I was an appraiser before as a real estate agent, and absolutely love all things Boise. So if there's anything you're looking for, if it's knowledge or if it's just like good temperature of the market or whatever it might be, my number is 208-213-2092. Call or text, and then my email, brian@brianhymas.com. Absolutely love helping you guys out. It's putting you guys on the buying and Boise blueprint is actually the key to my success, and that includes a Zoom call after we connect. And that Zoom call, we're going to really focus on understanding the buying process so that you're not over inundated with this too much and get anxious about the whole process. It's going to help narrow the process down so that you don't miss out on any homes, don't overpay for any homes, and don't buy a lemon. I promise you it's what it's going to do. It does it time and time again. It's the buying in Boise blueprint, and it is remarkable. It is the key to how I've successfully navigated the out-of-staters is that buying in Boise blueprint. I'm the only one who does it, and it is mine. It's mine to share with you. So love to help you out with that. Any questions or comments, be sure to put those in the comments and tell me where you're coming from, where you're chatting from, and any questions you have. I would love to hear if you have any dissenting opinions about the market. I love to talk about why it is. And you can talk all you want about inflation or jobs or anything like that. I'm going to bring it back to the psychology of the market. Guys, that the market they want right now they want a good market. And so that's the numbers they're going to try to put up there is a good market. And they do that through inflation. Excuse me. They do that through rates. So I will say, I already mentioned this, there's more buyer demand right now. And when there's more buyer demand, what does that do to the price? It pushes the price up. So more buyer demand, just about the same amount as supply, maybe a tad bit less in some areas and a tad bit more in some areas. But if it were me, I think this is a fantastic time to buy. But I don't speak for everyone, and everyone has to judge their own their own situation there. So let's Juan Carlos Hernandez Jr. Let's see what you got here. So there was an article about the rates that were going to drop to 3% by the end of the year. 3% seems low. See, I mean, that's the thing. This is what I love. There's you can keep the question up there while I talk to Gene. This is what I love is like you've got people saying the market's just going to go 3%. You got people saying that they're going to halt and there's going to be no more price breaks. And you got people saying that that might be the last rate drop we see all year. If I had to guess, I don't think it's going to go 3%. If it did, put on your seatbelts because it's going to be a ride. Like I would, 3% could, like it would get the market. I bet you, I'm just going to guess it's going to get the market up there by 8-10% on the home prices because a home that's listed at 500 can go to 550 just like that with people's cash buying because cash buyers are still buying. And so if you'll get outbid by someone who's got the cash, and that 10%, if you win a bid, if you get into a bidding war and you're now gonna pay 2% points interest less on a home that's worth 550, you got to ask yourself the two questions: do you like the house and do you like the payment? Because you'll probably be paying that payment for 30 years unless you've got other way of getting income and changing your financial situation. Like while I preach and preach, do you like the payment? Do you like the house? Because if you do like that payment, you can be there comfortably without a problem. The problem is if you get it 3% and that's the tip top of your budget, it will always be the tip top of your budget because let's say the market goes bad and the rates go bad and also the market goes bad and now your job of making widgets, you make less widgets in a down economy and now you're making less that you can't make that payment. Do you see what I'm saying? So just because the rate's good, it doesn't mean that's the right time to buy. You got to judge if your job, like I have a home buyer, he won't sell his house. He's because of how it's attached to his business. He can't sell his house. And he talked about how if he bought a house last year about $1 million, it was right at the peak. We didn't know it's the peak. I honestly thought the market was still going up. He's like, I think it might be the peak, and I just don't want to buy right now, and because I have to pull $200,000 out of my own cash to put this to even buy this. And he decided not to buy. And had he bought, he would have bought at the peak. He would have been low interest rate, but he is now better off. That house, the house he wants now is probably $850, $900, and he could buy that now and then refinance in X amount of days. So I'd hate to see anyone trying to time the market and miss it, while at the same time get the getting while the getting's good. Thank you, Juan Carlos. I love the question. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Where you're coming from. Juan Carlos, would love to know where you're from, where you're chiming in from, and if it's the first time or multiple times you've been on this live. I would love to know, Juan Carlos, what you think is going to happen after my little rant. If you think we're going to see a drop go to 3%, I don't see how we could. You'd have to have some pretty unhealthy numbers for them to justify that. If you're going to get into the science of the rates, I think they would love to, but I don't think so. Next live is April 16th, 2024. It will be at 7 p.m. Mountain. We do these they'll do that one on the third Tuesday of the month. If you are coming to Boise and you have any questions or any videos you need to see, please email me. I love making the videos that are pertinent to you guys. Just had videos made on Star and Eagle because those ones came requested from customers that were shopping. So feel free to get us those topics as well. We do our own research and we have our own topics, and we have things that you guys, we have ways of trying to figure out what you guys want. But if you have anything like that, please do let us know. So, all right, guys, if there's no other comments from you guys, that's I'll summarize what I said in the live here in the 20 minutes we've been together. There's going to be a lot of people say the market's going down 3%. It's going to be going up. There's the last rate hike, or that's the last rate in decrease. There's also people saying that we could see increases from here on out. So we don't really know. My personal opinion is the rates are going to go down. I would not be surprised to see them go down another 75 basis points, or let's say like 75, like 3/4 of a point, or a whole point, like a whole percentage point. So we'll see what happens. But that's my own take. I wouldn't be surprised to see another percentage point. Let's I got my assistant here. What she's saying? Do I want to show a certain graph? Just put it up there, Gene. I'm not sure which graph you're looking at. Oh yeah, this is super interesting. Thank you for this, for the lock boxes. This is so cool. So this is data we have that shows how many key boxes. These things are. I put it away. The key boxes are what we, the lock boxes, but we put on the houses. And this is pretty typical. If we were to show you, Gene, I don't know if you grab more. Did you grab more of like the yearly stats or just this one? If you just grab this one, that's fine. I'll talk to it. It's the same. 12/8, 12/24. This is okay. So this is December 2023. Okay. If you have others for the whole year, that'd be great. But basically, what happens when lockbox we get the stats on how many lockboxes were opened, and basically it's going to end right here January, and it's going to go up, and it's going to go March, and then high at April, and then a little bit lower in May, a little bit higher in June, about the same in July, and it just slowly goes down, and then it goes dismal at December, and especially December 5th. But guess what happens in January? We spike up. We get about triple the lock boxes. And so we should see more buyer activity just based on historical data alone. And then come with the warm weather and come with the good rates. That's good compared to those two together. But when we get warmer weather and good rates, that's when houses it's a good time to list. Generally speaking, not always, is the end of March and beginning of April. And that for Boise is a good time historically. However, if you're always waiting for the right time, you might miss it. If you would have done that in 2021, you would have, could have missed it. Could have missed it in 2022. I have a couple buyers or sellers in 2022. I had one who took my advice, one who didn't. They listed a week apart, and one went high, and they suffered. They didn't even sell their house. They went too high. And then my parents actually listened to my advice, and we got out of that. And at the end of the tail end of the market, because they didn't try to time it, they just tried to take the good offer, and they actually got list price for the house. And because they listed in that range of, they were about a 7 to 730. I think we got about 710 for it, and it was fantastic. So don't try to time the market. If you like the rates where they're at, go with it. Guys, it's been a pleasure. If you have any questions, please email me, brian@brianhymus.com. You can also call or text 208-213-2092. And if you are coming to Boise to check out homes, please give me a call, text, or email. And if you have questions before that, let's talk and then get you set up on the buying in Boise Blueprint. It's really tried and proven and tested. Not going to let you overpay for homes. I'm not going to let you buy a lemon. And we're not going to miss out on any homes. So please, let's get in touch. We can get you on the buying in Boise Blueprint, and subscribe, obviously, to get the new videos when they come out. Those are super important, and they should be feeding you everything you want to know about Eagle, about Middleton, about Star, especially. Those three cities should be high in your list. If you're following me, that's kind of where I reside. That's kind of where I push to, right? I've sold homes, and I've lived here in the Treasure Valley my whole life. I've sold homes in Nampa, Caldwell, Fruitland, Weiser. I've shown them all over. I've sold them all over. But those three, Star, Middleton, and Eagle, are really that north corridor where we hit the highway and head up to McCall for the weekend. Is really a good area I focus on. I love it. It's where I lived. I've lived in Eagle for the previous 8 years. When we were in Eagle, we did Star Churches and shopped in North Meridian. So that area is really home to me. And Middleton's kind of new for us, but we love it as well. And so if you're looking for shopping anywhere in the Treasure Valley, please let me know. And I would love to get you set up on the Buying Boise Blueprint. And for now, I will see you next time being April 16th, 2024. That will be after March Madness. So let's get our March Madness in and root for your favorite team. And we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you always for your support and for being here. I hope you found this beneficial, and that you can take this to make good decisions. And let me know if you have any questions in making those decisions so that we can make the right decision together.